Yeah, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome to the Loudest African Debate Show because we are hosting it on the platform of the Loudest African Debate. But today is not actually about the Loudest African Debate Show. It's actually about the special date in South Africa, which is June 16th. What happened in June 16th? The uprising of the young high school student that came around in order to voice out their opinion to the government that they're no more happy with whatever is going on, and because they were forced to be taught in an African language instead of their preferred language. So this youth all over the country, the demonstration started in different schools. We know the school that we know in history is the Naledi High School. That was a school that the demonstration was so heightened, but other schools also were having this kind of demonstration. So we celebrate this day not because of what happened, not because of the death. In fact, almost 140 something people died on that day, and some of the students were being shot at the back. It is so ugly to even go through this history. But what can we say? We are actually celebrating the tenacity and the determination and the audacity that these young people had to stand for what they believed in. And today we join the host of other South Africans, in fact, Africans as a whole, to celebrate these young people who came together and said, you know what? We are tired with what we're going through and we can do something about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the reason why we are here. We are here today to celebrate these young people. So wherever you are, feel free to comment and share your take on our gathering here or on our broadcast this morning concerning the uprising of the 97 um, 1976 youth of Soweto. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for joining us wherever you are. Let us know where you are watching us from and let us know your opinion concerning these young people. So the topic that we'll be discussing about is what is actually the impact of this youth? What is actually the impact of what this youth did in 1976? They refused to stay down. When they said they should stay down, they stood up. When they said that their voice will not be heard, when they told them to stop talking, their voice were even heard louder. So we are discussing the impact of these young people on the rest of the African continent. I am joined with my brother in the struggle, Brother Ajamu, all the way from United States of America. Brother Ajamu, you are welcome. This is the topic that we've got today. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I was I'm familiar with the Soweto Uprising. Um, I know that I'm just reading something that I read. It said the Soweto Uprising was a series of demonstrations and protests led by school children in Tanzania, South Africa, that began on the morning of 16 June 1976. Students from numerous Sowetan schools began to protest in the streets of Soweto in response to the introduction of Afrikaans as the medium of instruction in local schools. It is estimated that 20,000 students took part in the protest. They were met with fierce police brutality, and many were shot and killed. The number of people killed in the uprising is usually given as 176, but estimates up to 700 have been made. In remembrance of these events, 16th of June is now a public holiday. in South Africa or Tanzania named Youth Day. So, I mean, I read that,
Yes, exactly.
I read stuff like that, and I get it. And it sounds like many things that have happened here in the U.S. And in other nations across the planet that have African populations. And I'm very familiar with the Soweto Uprising. Um, we speak about it here a lot. It's prohibited to talk about it in public instruction here in the U.S. And the reason being is because the main thing, it's funny because what's going on now is actually happening in real life here in the U.S. So they're saying that the students there were saying that they didn't want to be instructed in Afrikaans. They wanted to be instructed in the language that they speak. And what's funny is like when you take over people or you want to subjugate them, there are some things that you have to remove from their mindset, and one of them is language, or even the right to have certain materials to learn about. Right now in the U.S., we're battling a decision that was made here in Florida that teachers cannot teach certain material when it regards history or U.S. history in classes anymore. So teachers can't talk about the Soweto Uprising in class anymore in 2000 and going into 2022, 2021 school year, 22 school year. They can't talk about that no more because that's considered what they call race conflict. That's considered race conflict, and now there's a law against that in American schools in Florida. So it's ironic. I'm on TLAB, and we're talking about the Soweto Uprising. Yet I can't even teach it in my classes anymore because there was a law that was implemented in the state of Florida in the U.S. that said you can't teach stuff like that because that's considered race conflict. What? What? Like I'm like, what? What does that mean? Like that, I don't understand. So I can't teach the history so that the next generation doesn't make the same mistake as the previous one did. It's some deep stuff, man. We're live here. It's some deep stuff, man. Yeah. So I could talk about it on TLAD, but I can't talk about it in the classroom because now that's considered illegal in the U.S.
Wow.
And that was passed recently. Ladies and gentlemen, that was passed recently in the last week. It's a big issue on this side. But nobody really cares, nobody really knows. They're like, oh well, we gotta stop all this stuff, remembering the past, this horrible things that happened in the past. So my question is, if I have to forget the Soweto Uprising, since I can't mention it, since it's race conflict or whatever, then I need to stop talking about the Holocaust, the Jewish Holocaust.
Okay.
I need to stop talking about the American independence. That was a violent uprising. I need to stop talking about the issues that went on in Europe. All the World War I, World War II, those were, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you either gotta, you're gonna take away one thing, but you gotta do it across the board. If you gotta do that, even though it's wrong, completely wrong in my opinion, because history doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to King Fountain. It doesn't belong to anybody. History is history. It's part of humanity. It's part of just being a human being. It doesn't belong to nobody. No one can control that.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
Yeah. No, in fact, I think I have a high school student with me here that I would love to get her on the show and ask a few questions concerning, because you see with me, whatever happened And that is for many people who are watching and commenting. The reason why we took on this topic this afternoon is what is the impact of this whole thing on Africa as general? What is the impact? Like even right now, we see that there are some African countries that are undergoing what we call oppression by
Mm.
different hands. You know that the Europeans or whatsoever they planted stuff, and this stuff are being watered by these leaders. Remember the last interview we have with the presidential aspirant of Uganda, and I even see her online just now. She just commented now. Yes, and now she said something. She said these structures that were created by the Europeans, they are being nurtured by our own right now, right? They are being nurtured by our own people right now. And exactly there are we're still undergoing oppression by our own people now. So the uprising of the Soweto youth doesn't mean we should have uprising all over Africa in order to communicate to our leaders that, listen, we are tired with what we're going through. Oh, what exactly? And this is what I want everybody that's watching us, wherever you are watching us, I want you to know that the main question now, even though we're celebrating these young people that stood up for something, what are we standing up for as Africans right now? Great. So
Oh,
we have this young lady come and we'll sit and we will talk. Can you sit there? Are we all appearing in it? Can you? Okay,
yeah, I
great,
see
great.
y'all. Yeah.
So sitting here with me is Lydia. Lydia is a final year student in one of the high schools here in South Africa. Lydia is originally from Ethiopia,
Mm.
and she is very intelligent young lady. And I call her on the show to ask a few questions as a young person. And Lydia, how are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm very well. So Lydia, you are almost like a citizen of South Africa
Yes.
because you've been here for like really very long time, and you know something about the Youth Day, which is the Soweto Uprising.
Yes, I do
Do
know.
great. So can you tell the people there what you know about the uprising?
Okay, so June 16 of 1976 was the uprising of Soweto, Soweto Uprising. On this day, lots of young students lost their lives, and so, as a South Africans, like, well, in South Africa, we usually celebrate this day to pay tribute to those who played role, or as the young youth that played role in this protest, or they like lost their lives during this protest, and also like what role they played, because they played a big role as to liberate South Africa from the apartheid regime. We also know that lots of lives were lost on that day. And I feel like this day is actually very important as a youth, because now, due to the sacrifices that was made by those days, we have now more opportunities or more freedom. And I feel like we should celebrate that as well, because imagine now if we were living on that day, we would not actually have the same opportunities that we have now. We won't be free. And I feel like, yeah, it's a very important day.
That's great. That was Lydia there telling us more about the uprising of June 16. And Lydia, as a young person, do you think currently, right now, as we are talking, do you think the youth of South Africa, to be specific, do you think they appreciate the sacrifice of the youth of 1976?
Um, I don't think so. For me personally, I don't think so. Because firstly, like we shouldn't actually like think of only the youth the youth way,
Okay.
because I mean, like right now there's lots of youth that don't have like jobs.
That's right.
Yes, we're supposed to have opportunities, we're supposed to have more freedom and stuff like that, but then we see lots of children who don't have, or young children that don't have jobs. I mean, South Africa has, I think, 30 something percent now unemployment. I mean, if we have more freedom, then I feel like we should have expressed it through this. Okay, you understand? We should have more opportunities. Yes, we do have opportunities, but to a certain limit. Because yes, if you are in, I am a high school student, so I wouldn't know what it feels like to be out of job because I'm still a student.
Yeah.
But then for those who finished learning or that are out there, they don't have opportunities. You understand? And yes, youth supposed to celebrate it, but then how can they celebrate it at the end of the day when they're still looking for jobs out there? You know, when they still when they don't have opportunities, but then the whole concept of this freedom was supposed to have like more opportunity, more freedom and stuff like that. So I don't believe that they would want to actually celebrate it. You understand?
Wow, wow, that is powerful. Mr. Ajamo, do you have one or two questions for this young lady right here?
Yeah, I guess the main question is can you define freedom? And then second of all, are Africans truly free?
No, I don't believe so. I don't believe it because
But
to
can you
this day
define?
and age,
I'm sorry, sister. Can you define freedom? What is freedom? What is that?
well, in the concept of South Africa, freedom, I believe, is having the right to choose, having more opportunities, having more, not only more, but like having, you don't have to feel afraid to do something. But then at the end of the day in South Africa, we still have racism. We still have, because due to the apartheid regime that happened there in the 1960s, we
Yeah.
still have it to this day.
Yeah.
Yes, we may not see it each and every day, but then we feel it. And we have schools, like in my school, I feel it as well. So I wouldn't say that South Africa is still free, or like more freedom as the way it's supposed to have. Yeah, I believe that.
But what is freedom? Like you
For
still
me,
Yes, for you.
understand what is freedom? Yeah, what is just like what is freedom? So, if someone was to ask me that question, I mean I can talk for like an hour because
okay,
I have an analogy. I have a perfect analogy for freedom. But
the
I'm
thing
asking,
is that like,
I'm
I
asking you
wouldn't know.
like what is freedom? What is no? But you know what freedom is because well you have to know what freedom is regardless of your age. You have to know
Okay,
what does that mean.
personally,
And I'm not talking about South Africa or Zambia. I'm not talking about
okay,
America because there ain't no freedom here. If you think freedom is here, you're
the
highly
thing is
mistaken.
that
But
personally, I
talking
don't
about
feel
freedom.
freedom.
Freedom. What is freedom? What does it mean to be free? What does it mean?
Personally, I don't have freedom. Personally, I don't have freedom. Firstly, because I'm not South African, I don't have opportunities as those who have in South Africa. Because firstly, I'm a foreigner, and as a foreigner, every day I feel scared. And even today, I do feel scared because there is protest and there's xenophobic attacks, and I'm always scared.
So what is
So I don't feel safe. I don't feel free because I cannot express myself as free as someone who is a citizen in South Africa. So I can't define what freedom is because I don't feel it, or I do not have that for me.
didn't you? But would it be safe to say you felt freedom in Ethiopia?
Yes, I would say that because
What I'm saying,
because
describe the freedom in Ethiopia, or what is freedom to you in Ethiopia? Then,
okay, for me in Ethiopia, I would say that I had freedom because I felt like I was comfortable, I felt safe, I felt like I wouldn't be attacked any moment, or for saying something about a certain stuff. Like in South Africa, if I talk about freedom, not really freedom, but like a certain apartheid event that happened, obviously those around me that are different races will feel uncomfortable, and I have to watch out what I'm going to say. So in Ethiopia, I didn't have that. I could speak freely. I can criticize whatever whoever I wanted. But in South Africa, I have to feel scared because I'm not from South Africa. I don't have that opportunity to speak or to say whatever I want or be reckless. You understand? So as a foreigner, I have to watch out what I speak. And that is not freedom for me because now I am restricting myself from saying what I want to say. And what I really think of a certain event or what my textbook is that is whitewashed and all that stuff. And I'm not, I feel like that it's not being told in whatever that I read. So I feel like it's not, for me personally, I haven't experienced freedom because I've always felt like I need to hold back what I have to say or express myself the way I want. So that's all I can say.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wow, that is like a real powerful. Thank you so much, Lydia, for coming through, and we really do appreciate you coming through. That was Lydia, and yeah, I can say a million things about what she has to say about her not being a South African and her freedom not really being what she think it should be and all of those stuff. And now the question is in relation to what we are discussing today, the uprising of the young people in Soweto, when they rise up to a particular act that was being done to them that they knew that it was very wrong. The question is, how long will it take African youth to realize that we do not have freedom at all? And the question you asked, Lydia, was the second question was about, do Africans really have any form of freedom? Because to me, freedom is being able to express myself like 100%. Right? If I'm able to express myself with no fear at all of being attacked, of being harassed or whatsoever, then I feel like I have freedom. Yes.
But what's funny about that, and hopefully both of you are listening, is
Mm.
here in the United States, supposedly there's part of this thing called the Bill of Rights. And it
Yeah.
says that I can say whatever I want. I can say
Oh, yeah.
whatever I want. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm going along with what you're saying. Okay, you're saying
Mm.
you don't feel like you can say what you want. I'm saying I can say what I want here in the US. I can say whatever I want.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
I can. However, I'm not free. I can say whatever I want, but I'm not free. And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
I'm trying to get to a point. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
get to a point. I'm bringing it. I'm bringing it. I'm bringing
yeah,
it.
yeah.
All right. So I can say whatever I want. My wife can say whatever she wants, even though she's not a citizen. My wife's not a citizen. And
Yeah.
I get into that later. Everybody thinks, oh, you marry an American, you become a U.S. citizen right away. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. Woman been in this country 20 years. She's not a citizen. So we gotta get those misconceptions out. My son, born on the soil, he can say supposedly whatever he wants, but we're not free. We're not free.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
free. We
Now,
are not free. I don't care what nobody say. Now some people say, well, that's your mindset, Ajamu.
yeah.
Your mindset's all messed up. Blah blah blah. You're thinking the wrong way. No, man, come on. Come on. Come on. I cannot say whatever I want to say, even though it's specifically stated in writing.
Yeah, and now that begs the question of what is
So
freedom to you then, Mr. Ajam?
so all right, here's freedom to me. Real
Yeah,
simple.
yeah,
Real simple. Let me use the analogy of my home. Inside
yeah,
my house,
yeah,
inside my house, I have freedom.
Okay.
Why? Because I write the rules. I write
Okay.
the rules. I
Mm,
write the rules. My wife writes her rules. We compromise, and those are the rules. Does my son have a say? Yes, he has a say. Is he going to get overridden? Yeah, he might get overridden because he doesn't have wisdom yet, but he might get overridden on some things. But
yeah.
for the most part, I don't know about him, can't speak on his behalf. I can't even speak on my wife's behalf, but I know I'm free. I'm free in this house. I'm
Okay.
free within this house. Within the house I'm in. I can say
Yeah.
what I want, I do what I want, whatever. I'm free in the house.
Mm,
Even though I'm not
yeah.
on free land, I'm not on free land, and the house is not mine yet, because you got to pay it
Yeah.
off first. A lot of people,
Yeah.
they because you live in a house, it's yours. No, it's not yours. It's the bank's. Got to pay it off, then it's yours.
Mm,
And even though you still don't own the land, so you got to pay taxes on the land and so forth. But I don't want to get into all of that because that just shows how much I'm not free. How much I'm not free. If I want to go to South Africa right now, I can't. I got to have a passport. I can't just roll out. I got to go
yeah.
get COVID this, COVID that. I got to do
Yeah.
this. I got to do that. I'm not free. If I don't got no money, how I'm going to go? I'm not free. So let me get back to the house. So in the house, I can say and do whatever I want. I'm free. As soon as I walk outside the house, I mean, literally 20 feet off my property, I'm not free no more because now I'm under a new set of rules and laws.
Oh
Are
yeah.
y'all following me? In the house, I'm free. On the land that I don't own, I'm somewhat free if I go outside my front yard. But soon as I leave the land that the house is on and I get out of those boundaries, I'm no longer free. People assume you are. Oh, I'm free. I do whatever I want in my neighborhood. Man, shut up. You're not free. Because once you leave the area of your home, you might be free in your home, but once you leave
Yeah.
that area, you enter into a new set of rules and laws when you get out on that street. As soon as your
Yeah.
foot touches the street. And then
Yeah.
some people say, so what are you trying to say, John? What I'm trying to say is if you truly want to be free, you have to write the rules and the laws. You yourself, whoever is on the land, has to write them, whoever's the majority or whatever it may be. So let me give you an example. In Tanzania or South Africa, it would have to be ethnic, I guess, or people. Well, let me clarify that. Whoever
Yeah.
is in Tanzania or South Africa, if you're African, you should be writing the. I don't care where you're from in Africa, because all that country stuff is a bunch of garbage anyway. All that nation, oh this nation, that nation. You need a passport or a visa to go from South Africa to. The sister said Ethiopia. You need a visa to go from South Africa to
Yeah.
Ethiopia.
Yeah.
That don't even make sense. But I could go. I could go
Yeah.
to South Africa without a visa, and I could go to
Exactly.
Ethiopia without a visa. That don't make no sense to me. That don't make
Exactly.
no
So
sense.
so so
So,
if
so you're not free. You're not free. You're not free. You think you're free, but the only way you're going to be free is you have to use the analogy of the home. You have to
yeah.
build the home. Whatever the home is metaphoric. It's metaphoric. Okay, and I know I might be going out of some people. I might be losing some people right now because a lot of people don't like to think metaphorically because it's actually you got to start thinking. So
Yeah.
when you control the house and the rules and you create the laws and everything, then therefore you are free because you the one that wrote that stuff and long as you are standing up to those laws and rules and you effectively are using those to a certain extent. But if I use the analogy or the concept of me being here in the US, as soon as I step out past my driveway, I no longer have freedom because those sets of rules and laws are being orchestrated and being enforced by a group of people that can change them at any time. It's just like a monopoly game or a game, any type of game that you play. If the person is is setting the rules and the regulations. They can change it at any time to suit them. And then your behind is looking like, well, I'm playing by the rules. And you're looking, and it's like, well, it's not going to be fair because the person who created the rules and the laws in the first place, right? They're going to always be against you because they're trying to win. I mean, I don't know why we don't see that as a people. Even here in the United States, I still got people running around talking about they got rights. You don't have any rights because as soon as you walk in the courtroom, it's going to change. And we've seen it. We've seen it. People dead. They're dead. King,
Yeah.
they are dead. And
Yeah.
everybody know it was wrong. Their death was wrong. We know it was wrong by any standard. By any standard. I don't care if you look at it from a spiritual point, religious point, a law point, whatever point you want to look at. Everybody know it was wrong, but yet the people that committed the crime walk free. So that
Yeah.
means you're not free because you're being judged by a set of rules and laws that your behind didn't create. Or your people.
Now that is like something on another level, right? Right now that you're talking.
No,
Mr.
that's not
John.
on the,
Yeah.
that's not on another level because that does deal with the Soweto Uprising. That does deal because they were
Yeah.
trying to fight a system because they felt the system was being opposed on them. It was being dropped on Afrikaans for what? Afrikaans, what is that? That's not even from
Exactly.
Africa. That's not even from
Exactly.
Africa. I gotta learn that. That's all. I mean, I'm not trying to speak for the people at the Soweto Uprising. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
speak for them at all. I have no right to do that. But I
Exactly.
know revolution, and I understand that if someone came to me and I lived in Soweto and they told me I got to learn Afrikaans, I'd be like, that's not even from here. That's not even
Exactly.
something that I should be even learning. Why I got to learn that? What? Want to teach my children a language that they ain't even, I mean, it's the same concept. Why am I speaking English? Same concept. That's not my language.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
language.
The reason why I said on that level is the deeper understanding, the more elaborate you are about the whole thing. That's why I said another level. But then apart from that, is perfectly relating to what we are talking about, right? But until people know that they're oppressed, that any
Thank you.
form of uprising will happen. Josephine, are you
I
still
saw
there?
her. I saw the sister. Yeah.
She just, I think, she just left. Or hello, Sister Josephine.
It's funny, King, and I'm working on this right now, and we're getting
Okay,
closer. There she go.
okay. Josephine is joining us all the way from Nigeria. Josephine is a very strong sister and have been pushing the agenda of creating a better Africa. This is one strong woman. I wish to meet this lady very soon. I'm hoping. Many people who don't know, many people who are not on African continent, when we said you need a visa to go from South Africa to Nigeria, they will not understand. You need a visa to go from South Africa to Ethiopia. Like this is like really crazy. But I'm telling you, for you to get a visa, it is easier for you to get a visa from
Well, I don't even need a
European
visa.
country.
I don't even need a visa
Yeah,
to
you
go to
don't,
African
you
countries.
don't
I don't
even
even
need a
need a
visa.
visa. My behind
Yeah,
don't need no visa. Now, how does that
yeah.
work? That doesn't make sense. That makes
You
no
understand?
sense.
It
None.
doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. You see. So
I'm
so
sorry,
somebody
y'all.
from America
I'm sorry, y'all,
doesn't
but
need
that
any visa. He can just come here at the region and get a visa at the at
you're gonna protest against that. Get out on them streets
you see.
about that. Nobody doing that. Nobody doing that.
Exactly. So in fact, I think every young person on the continent listening to us today, the lessons we are learning from the uprising of the young people in Soweto is they were tired with a certain system. That yeah, they were tired about a certain system that was being imposed on them. And how long are we gonna be tired with some of these rules that are created by people that does not even have our interest in their mind? Yeah, but then I was actually trying to introduce Josephine from Nigeria. Yeah, Josephine, we are so glad to have you on the show this afternoon. Um, yeah. By the way, guys, this lady is doing awesome things, man. Like really, really awesome things. And we just pray that you don't give up. You just keep going, keep going, keep going. Josephine, you are welcome.
She's on mute. She's on mute.
Okay, you mute your okay.
She's on mute. She's unmuted.
Okay, I think Josephine is having a problem with connection. We can hear her. We can just see her mouth moving, but we can hear anything that she's saying.
Can we unmute her? Wait, can I unmute?
You unmute. Okay, cool.
Uh-oh. I made it bigger.
See, we can hear you, Josephine.
Wait, let me try to unmute the sister. Oh, she's unmuted, but I can't hear her.
No, she's unmuted. But just that we can't hear her. We can hear her. That I know this is not just cool, and I so much wanted to hear from this.
That's what I'm saying, man. We're not. We everybody protesting about this and that, but what about the Wi-Fi? What about the Wi-Fi? You know what?
With some, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's like, yo, like, come on, y'all, wake up. Wi-Fi. You need Wi-Fi. 2021, you need Wi-Fi. And I'm not.
Yeah, but
fun.
there are some of these countries that there's a lot that we have to stand up for. There's just a lot.
That's all I'm saying.
A lot that people need to stand up for. Yeah.
No, but look,
yesterday I was talking to. Yesterday, I was talking to somebody in Ethiopia, and she was telling me that King Fazan, I don't know what will happen next week. They might block internet. I was like, what do you mean? You were like, yeah, they will just have to block internet because election is coming up very soon. I was like,
well, that's not far-fetched, because on this side, in this side, they're trying to do it. They're trying to do it. Trust me, there's people, but they're fighting it on this side. That's the problem, is that the people that write the laws and the rules, they want to limit internet. They want to what they call censorship. They want to impose censorship. Except there are a group of people who have money and influence as well. They don't want that. So that's the problem. That's why there hasn't been censorship yet in the U.S. Is because there's a group that writes the laws and the rules.
Yeah.
They in charge. They want to censor everything. And then there's a group of people who have the same amount of influence and wealth are saying, no, you can't do that. I'm just gonna leave it like that. So it's not far-fetched.
What I've learned thus far in this discussion is there is a lot that we need to stand up for as African youth. There's a lot. There's just a lot.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying
a lot of things that does not even make sense.
Yeah, I'm not saying people over there are doing bad. It's not like that. I'm not attacking you. I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat. I'm with you 100%, with the continent 100%. All I'm saying is stop doing stupid stuff and start focusing on the real stuff. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. You need a passport. I'm sorry, a visa. Now check this out. You live in Johannesburg and you want to go to. Let me look at this map.
Yeah.
And you want to go to Harare. You live in Johannesburg. You want to go to Harare. How many hours is that? What, 5 hours, 6 hour drive? What, 8 hours? How many hours? How many hours from Johannesburg to Harare? Or better yet, I don't know if you can hear me. If you live on the border of South Africa, Azania, and you want to go to Zimbabwe, and you're a South African or you're a Zanian, you need a passport just to go to Zimbabwe. And it could be right there. That don't make no sense. I don't need a,
Exactly.
I don't need a visa to go to Mexico. I don't need a visa to go to Canada. Those are countries that border the United States. I don't need a visa to go to any of the islands in the Caribbean, and those are all different countries. I don't need a visa to go to my wife's country. I don't need a visa to go to my wife's country. I don't need a visa to go to my wife's country. But y'all need visas to go from one African country to the next. That makes no sense. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm done.
It makes no sense. Makes no sense. The
How you
question,
gonna be
the
unified?
question is,
How can you even have the sense in your mind, the mindset, oh, I want to be unified with the rest of the African continent, but I need a visa to go try to unify my continent? That don't make no sense.
like
That's why
it's so
when you told me,
disheartening, man. It's
King,
so disheartening.
when you told me, I ain't gonna lie, brother, when you told me, yeah, man, when I come, because I'm still planning on coming to Azania, believe it or not, I'm working behind the
Yeah,
scenes.
yeah.
I can update you later. But when you told me, yeah, when you come to Azania, we're gonna go do this, we're gonna go to this place, we're gonna go to Nigeria, we're gonna do all this stuff. I'm thinking to myself,
Yeah.
I can go, I know I can go, but I don't know. I'm just gonna be honest. I
No,
don't.
me, I can. Yeah,
And my wife do the same
I
thing. My wife
can.
do the same thing. My wife's like, you're off from school for 2 months. And let's go to the Caribbean. Let's go to Jamaica, and let's go to St. Vincent, and let's go to all these places. I'm looking at her like, I can go, but you can't because
Yeah,
you don't have a U.S. passport. So that means as soon as you leave the country, you jeopardizing yourself. You jeopardizing your so-called small freedom that you got. I'm not going to take the risk of bringing you out the country because you may not come back in. I mean, and it don't matter if you're my wife or not. No matter how much love we got for each other, it don't matter. And that's what people don't get is we need to fight for freedom, real freedom, not
yeah,
no talk
yeah.
freedom, not no talk, not no talk. Because if those Azanians in the Soweto Uprising were able to write the curriculum, then there would be no need for the uprising. There would be no need for people to die
Exactly.
if they had control of the
Exactly.
curriculum. But even today, does South Africans or Azanians truly have control over the curriculum?
Exactly. I do. I do. I do. I
Do
do.
they have control
They
over
do.
the curriculum? Do they?
They do. Because,
I'm
because
asking.
it's so disheartening. It's so disheartening when you look at what is going on in Africa, and we are crying for unity. But for somebody from Cape Verde to travel to Principe and Sao Tome, it need a visa. So how is that going to be possible? The last time we were having discussion, Brenda, you remember the last conversation we had. Now we're talking of radically passing the message of Pan-Africanism. But how are you going to do that if you are not even permitted to leave your country to another African country?
I think. I think that. I think that the things that we talking about right now, like the communication, the lack of freedom to travel at will to any African nation, the lack of, oh man, how do I say this? Honest
Yeah,
leadership, the lack of uh, being controlled by countries that are not even from Africa,
exactly.
um, the lack of using money that ain't even from the continent. You should not be spending money in the continent of Africa if it ain't from Africa. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
It don't make no sense. But anyway, all this stuff got to be corrected first before you can even start to talk about unity. I don't like to use the word Pan-Africanism, even though it is a good concept. And let me explain
yeah,
myself. I don't like to use that
yeah,
word because all these negative things that come behind it and all. Okay, fine. We won't use the word Pan-Africanism. That's fine. It don't matter to me. I really
yeah,
don't give a darn. I don't care if you use it or don't use it. I don't care if you spell it out or you don't spell it out. What
yeah.
I think you should be saying is unity, plain and simple. So you can't fault me for using the word unity. Let's unify ourselves. How about that? But don't use anything else. Don't use any other thing that has anything to do with ideology. That is the ideology. It's unification.
Yeah,
It's unification.
yeah.
How about that? So I'm one of them dudes where I don't live under it looked like I'm going kind of slow. Is the
I can
internet?
hear you
Can you
this
still
side.
hear
I
me?
can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you very well. I can hear you very well. I think I'm using I install 5G, so I install 5G, so it's fine
Oh,
by my
okay.
side now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so the point I'm trying to make is I don't fall under any ideology on the planet. I fall under my brain. Okay, I got a brain. I got a brain. I got a brain. So whatever created me, gave me this brain to think. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud
Yo.
and clear. I can hear you
Oh,
loud
I'm
and
sorry.
clear.
So I got a brain. So unification, unify. You got to fix those problems, those small problems first, and then you can move forward. But I know it's a lot tougher to do than to say it. I get that. But I remember
So
the sister you had on the show right now. She mentioned unemployment, but there are industries that you can create right away to prevent or to alleviate unemployment. All right. And the first thing would be clothing yourself. So if you can clothe yourself, then you've created many industries just trying to clothe yourself. If you can put shoes on your feet or create an industry to put shoes on your feet, then you created jobs. You created jobs. If you can start creating your own shoes, start creating your own underwear, start creating your own shirts, start creating your own pants. It don't got to be African, because I know some people in Africa, believe it or not, they're afraid to be African. That's fine. You can punk out on the clothing part, but at least you make your clothes in the continent. You make the clothes on the continent by people that you employ to make those clothes, and that's an industry. Those are industries that you
yeah,
could start immediately, and it could create jobs and wealth. But if you're sitting there begging somebody who writes the rules and the laws to give you a job, you ain't gonna never have a job because you waiting on somebody to say, yeah, I'll go ahead and hire you for this amount, which is never gonna be your work.
yeah,
It's never going to be your work, man. I keep trying to tell people that. They always ask me, oh, I see you're not trying to be a teacher anymore. I see you're trying to do your own thing. Well, yeah, because you're not, the teacher job ain't paying me when I'm work. They're not. It's not about money. It's not about money. I'm worth more than that. I can do more than that. So I'm going to branch off and do my thing. Why I'm going to sit under there and wait for y'all? Like, oh, please, can I do more in life? Please, can I go do this? Can I? I don't need your permission.
no,
I'm
no,
gonna go do
no,
my own
no.
thing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Why are we
yeah,
asking people to liberate us when we need to liberate ourselves? And I liberated myself in my mindset. I'm not sure if it's gonna work out, but I don't care. At least I tried. At the end of the day,
yeah.
I tried.
Yeah, yeah. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are listening to us right now or watching us, the question is, and this is a very powerful question for those that are listening and watching right now, and for those that will stream later on after we might have been done. The question is, since 1976, we are still celebrating a particular movement that happened. So between that time and this time that we are, there have never been any form of movement on the continent again from any part of the continent. And if those young people could stand up for something, and that which they stood up for was given to them, what is taking us so hard to stand up for anything? Or do we think there is nothing for us to stand up for? Because from where I'm sitting, I believe that there are so many things that are not right with our continent. So many things in all of these divided countries that we have. There are so many things that the young people can stand up for. And how long is it going to take us to realize that if we do not stand up, we are going to remain where we are. So my questions are very simple. How long is it going to take us to stand up for something? And do we think we don't have anything to stand up for? Is the educational system in your country, in Africa, is your educational system okay? Is the health system okay? Let us just know. Let us just know. If you think that they don't need any fixing, then it's okay. But if you think that they need fixing, why is it taking you so long to stand up to protest or let the government know that something is wrong? I hope you guys understand my questions.
Can you see it on the screen? Why aren't the youth standing up for issues that truly affect Africa? Is that sound right? Because I have it presented on the
Exactly.
screen.
Why aren't the youth standing up for issues that truly affect Africa?
Because
Truly,
they better.
and I love that. I love that because you see protests in some areas, but what are we protesting for? There was another day I was talking to my student and I told them
Yeah, can
something.
y'all explain that? 'Cause I'm in the dark on that. Like, what's going on over there? I'm just trying to figure out, like, because it's
the
not on,
riots that is
it's not on the news on this side. It's not on the news on this side. There's nothing in the news
about
about what's going on in South Africa or Zania right now. Nothing. No, trust me, I'm looking for it. Nothing. So what's going on?
There's something going on, but I am not fully aware of what is going on right now. I will have to inquire because I am seeing some.
You don't understand.
I'm seeing some news all over the internet about xenophobia attack right now, but I'm not so sure of what is going on. So I will have to relate with the
Well,
relevant
I
people
want to
to
say
get
something. I want to say
information.
something about xenophobia. Is it makes no sense. I don't care what part of Africa you're from. It makes no sense. How can you be against? It's funny because here in the United States, what's funny about the United States is that the African population numbers and percentage around 15% right now. So we're
Yeah,
not the largest subgroup in America. So the largest subgroup in America are what the United States calls Hispanic
yeah,
Americans or Hispanics. They make about 25 to 26% of the population. African people or African descended people only make up 15%. And
yeah,
within that 15%, nobody cares if you from Ethiopia, you from Nigeria, if you're from Ghana, if you're from Jamaica, if you're from Haiti, and these are I'm naming these places because these are people that I know. These are people that I know right here in America, right here in Orlando. They don't
yeah,
care if you're from St. Vincent. They don't care if you're from Guyana. They don't care. And by the way, Guyana and Ghana are two different countries. I'd just like to clarify that. They don't care if you're
yeah,
from Honduras. I know black people from Honduras. They don't care where you're from. You're black in America. You fall into that 15%, whether you want to or not. Whether you deny
yeah,
your own people and deny your own culture and deny who you are, you fall into that 15%. So when you go out on the street, everybody looking for each other, believe it or not. They're looking for each other, or they're either looking for each other because they want to say hi, or they're looking for each other because they don't want to say hi to your behind, and they're African themselves. So it's either way, everybody looking for each other because we only make up 15% of the population. So the point I'm trying to make is on this side, we have a sense of unity. The only problem is that the other percentage that is writing the rules and the laws have infiltrated our minds to think that we have no unity when in fact we do. I all the time go to my friend's store. He's from Nigeria, and he has people from ethnic groups in the store that back in Nigeria used to fight against one another. And they in the store talking to one another and conversating and having a good time and shaking each other's hands, even hugging each other, even hugging each other. And I'm saying this is post, post COVID. All right, so I got to clarify that because I don't want nobody to get in trouble. Post COVID, they were in there shaking hands, hugging each other, everything. And I'm like, wait a minute, y'all back on the continent, y'all had a civil war, but in the store, y'all were talking to one another. Wow, that's powerful. And it does because over here, nobody care about that. Nobody care about no ethnic group. Nobody care about that. All they care about is that's another black person. I gotta show some respect. Boom, 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 whatever. All right.
Yeah.
So I think the same thing needs to happen on the continent once and for all. People got to be like, because what makes the reason why there's so many different ethnic groups is because black people and African people are so diverse and unique that they can actually do that, and that's nothing wrong with that. That's just another extension of yourself if you really look at it. Now, if I lived in, say, Nigeria, I would be trying to learn as many Nigerian languages as I could, so I could go around and talk to everybody in their language. Now, some people don't think like me because they're like, "Well, I got to talk in the African language. I'm going to talk English, and then I can talk to everybody." That's fine. You do what you want to do. I prefer to speak the languages of the people, their original languages. There's nothing wrong with those original languages. I'm not sure why English is all of a sudden this language that everybody needs to learn. Because if everybody spoke English on the planet, then that's the only language you would have to express yourself. And then all these other expressive languages would be dead, would be dead, would be dead, would be dead. And that don't make no sense to me. That makes no sense. So my point is, in Africa, you got all this diversity. Why not, I don't want to say celebrate it, but why not embrace it? Forget the celebration part, embrace it, and you become stronger and move on.
Yeah.
No African is illegal in Africa. No African is illegal in Africa. If I go to Africa right now, I would never be considered illegal because I don't need paperwork to go to most of those countries. Probably all of them, as far as I know. And why is that? Because the person that wrote the law and the rules in America wasn't me, wasn't black people. It was another set of people. They set those parameters. I know why now. I get it now. I see why they can go to any country and I can go to any country. I see why now, but I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole nother key last show. But the point I'm trying to make is that, come on, y'all, wake up. And I know.
You see, remember when you suggested a topic about this issue of xenophobia? I told you that it's very sensitive, and I don't want to talk about it yet. And I'm still taking that position of not talking so much about it for now. But my cry for Africa is that we should be united, and our unity that's not supposed to be, it mustn't be on everything. We are not supposed to agree on everything. We are just supposed to unite
but you don't have to
towards a common goal, which is towards a common goal, which is
nobody does that. I don't even agree with my own
economy. Yeah.
I don't agree with my own wife, and I don't agree with my own son. But the unifying force is that we're a family, and we must survive, and we must eat, we must clothe ourselves, we must educate ourselves. That's the unifying factor. Believe me, me and my wife, we don't get along on a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. I'm like, what? That don't even make sense to me. But we have a unifying force that overrides those differences. Come on, y'all.
So I think I think maybe we haven't identified the uniting factor, and I think this is what we should talk about in the Tila show. What would be the uniting factor of Africa? What would be that one thing that will unite us? We can disagree over anything, like
All right.
the book I've just finished writing now, the Voters' Commandment. I spoke about in a particular chapter. I spoke about we disagreeing on anything but accepting on one thing, and that one thing should be the thing that will prosper our community, and that is what matters. Just
Right.
one uniting factor. That is all that we need as African people. So I think in the next show we will make sure a lot of African youth or African people got to stream. In fact, and this should be our next topic. What will be the uniting factor? What will be that factor that will unite Africa? And we could have even 6 guests on this episode. Let's talk about it because
Right.
because now we keep talking about unity. We keep talking about unity, but we see Africans killing each other more than any other thing. It is not just in South Africa. Go to Congo and Rwanda. They don't see each other face to face. They kill each other like any other thing. If you cannot be in, you cannot go to Rwanda if you are in Congo. They consider you as a foreigner. You
Mm.
see, so all of these things. Let's talk about it because it will be noise if we keep on talking about unity and we don't know what we're going to unite about. We don't know. That is the challenge. That's the reason why we're killing each other.
Right. And I think for me, uh, and I'm not saying my advice or my answer is the only answer, the correct answer, but I would say that the main unifying force is economics.
Okay.
Simple. Simple. If you focus on economics and that's the main goal, I'm pretty sure all that violence and that hate and whatever's going on over there is going to be limited because everybody's going to be trying to make money together.
And what you said makes a lot of sense, brother Ajamu. Now, the young people who are participating in the xenophobic attack are young people who are jobless. They don't have anything to do, and their life is so tough for them. And when they turn around and look at the Pakistan that has a shop next to them, and he's living better than they are living, now jealousy gets in because
Mm.
this is supposed to be my land, and you are doing better than I am doing. But now,
Right.
if our economic force is strong and these guys have something to do, the government creates jobs on every side, and these guys they are so creative to create jobs even for themselves. What will happen is that nobody will have time to distract another person,
Yeah,
and
let me
that
let
and
me
I think that's the uniting factor right there, the economy. If it
I
is
agree with you. I
strong,
agree with you. Now, what's funny is the same thing happens here. A lot of blacks would get mad at the Koreans. A lot of blacks would get mad at the Chinese. A lot of blacks would get mad at the Arabs. I mean, come on here in the United States. Trust me, that xenophobia is not limited to Azania. It's all over the dang place. All right. So blacks
exactly.
are upset at all these different groups. They even mad against other blacks. Trust me. Trust me, against other blacks because they got businesses, they making money. The point I'm trying to make is that those groups, like the Chinese, for instance, they don't wait for the U.S. government to create jobs for them. They don't do that. They don't come here. Oh, y'all got to give me a job. Y'all got to post some jobs on the internet for us. No, they create Chinese restaurants and dollar stores and whatever store they come up with, and they only employ themselves. Every time I go into the dollar store that's run by Chinese, every employee that I look around, I ask them who the employees, and they say, "Oh, sir, Gufu and Jinju and Suwan, all these people, these are the employees of this particular store. They're all Chinese. I asked them, and
Exactly.
they tell me. I go to the Chinese restaurant. I look in the back. I asked them, who the employees here? I'm just curious. And they say, oh, sir, all these people right here, they're all Chinese. They're the employees. Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
Science. So then you look at both stores. I'm not talking about different stores right down in my neighborhood, right down the street from where I live right now. They're employed by
Exactly.
Chinese people because the Chinese people don't wait for the U.S. government to post any jobs on the internet or anything. They don't care about the jobs in the U.S. They create their own. And then they send the
Yeah.
money back and they help each other out. And they become
Yeah.
wealthy.
Yeah.
And then they laugh at us. They laugh at us in our faces and they spit on us. And I saw a video of a Chinese guy beating up some dude in Ghana. Come on. Are you serious? And
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't know why I can see it and everybody else can't see it. That's what I'm
No,
trying
but
to say.
then we see it also. We see it also. We just refuse to see
I'm
it.
not
What you're
referring to
talking
you.
about,
I'm not referring to you.
what you're talking about,
I don't know why.
right? Yeah, what you're talking about right now. If you come here in South Africa, in Johannesburg, this the Chinese they have a land. In fact, they are buying land in South Africa
They're
more
not
than
dumb.
any other person. They are
Everybody know. Everybody know.
the
Everybody
buildings
know
they
you
are
got
doing.
land, you got wealth. Everybody know that. Everybody on the planet understands that except us. If you buy a piece of land, you automatically got wealth.
You see. So now the building, the doing whatsoever, they're doing a lot of things, but now I don't know. I don't know. Like we can justify the fact that if the citizens of the land are not prospering and they turn and they look at the foreigners prospering, definitely they will not be happy. But the question that most of us always ask is that why is it that in Africa, if an African is succeeding, another Africa is not really happy about it, but a Chinese can go ahead. The xenophobia that we talk about here doesn't affect the Chinese. It doesn't affect the Indians. It only affects the guy that comes from Zimbabwe. It only affects the guy that comes from Ghana. So now and I really don't want to talk about this topic. Like, it hurts me on so many levels because we are pushing the agenda of unity of Africa. And if we are pushing the agenda of the unity of Africa and we cannot even unite ourselves, what are we telling the world? Like we cannot unite even on the micro level. Then what are we telling? What are we telling the rest of the world? Like there's nothing. There's just nothing that we're telling the rest of the world.
Right.
And if we continue like that, it will take us years. I'm telling you, years before we can be able to actualize what is called unity. Because now, what form of unity is this?
Now, what's going to happen is, this is just my opinion now, and I'm not wishing anything ill will. I'm not trying to offend nobody either. But what's going to happen is, it's simple. If we don't unite as a people, we are not going to survive. Why? Because
Exactly.
everyone else is going to be like, you're nothing. You're nothing.
Exactly.
So I
Exactly.
gotta feed you because you don't do nothing. You ain't nothing. So why I gotta feed you? Why do I gotta give you rights? Why do I gotta deal with you and you don't do nothing? Why? Because we doing it all. Because we got the unification, we got the wealth, we're doing all these things. So why I gotta deal with you? And some people don't realize. Some people don't realize these groups that that are doing this stuff. Even if your behind is on fire, they would not try to put the fire out on you. They would just let you burn up. So the point I'm trying to make is, like, dude, you have no friends. You have no friends in the world, believe it or not. You can create friends. You can think you got some friends. But the only person or the only friends you truly got are the ones that are in the same position as you. Now, Does that mean you don't work with other people? No, I'm not saying that. I never said that. I said friends. Okay, business partner is different than a friend. I know that for a
Oh
fact.
yeah.
I got a business. I'm running a business. I'm running a nonprofit and a profit. And believe me, it's hard because I
Mm.
need people that are real nice, but they're not my friend. They're nice. They respect me. Oh, I love your clothing. Oh, I love that. Oh, love. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. But you're not my friend. You're a business partner. You're potential. Uh, 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 your potential. Would be one day possibly a potential person that could override what I'm doing. So how you my
Mm.
friend? You're not my friend. We're business partners, or better yet, I don't say business partners, but we're business acquaintances. I know you based off of the business that I'm doing with you, or likewise.
Yeah.
You're a client, not my friend. You see, but people don't get that. They think everybody their friend. No, where you get that from? Everybody on Facebook ain't your friend. Everybody that
No.
you got on Facebook is not your friend. Come on, let's bring it home. So the thing is that eventually what's going to happen is we just going to fade off the planet. Just fade away. Just fade away, I guess. And now genetics won't allow us to do that, but I'm just saying it would get to that point where, things would get to a point where other people will just, there's nothing to hold them back because they have the power and the wealth that have been established through obtaining land and wealth. So let me give you an example. In my home, I'm gonna go back to my house. If I don't reprimand or I don't discipline my child, right? Are y'all listening? Are y'all listening? So I'm considered I'm metaphorically, I'm the Africans, right? I'm Africa or whatever, and then my son is a
Mm.
is the younger version of Africa. All right. If I don't discipline him, then he can get out of order easy within my own house, and I'm his own flesh and blood. He can get way out of order. Oh, don't worry about that. Oh, don't worry. Oh, don't worry. No, don't do that. Oh, I don't. Hey, do whatever. Hey, yeah, whatever. Go play games. Yeah, whatever. I don't discipline. It gets out of control. That's what's happening now. Is you have a group of people who are acting like little kids, but they're in control of the world, and nobody can tell them or discipline them
Exactly.
or tell them, hey man, something's wrong. You're doing this wrong. Why are you doing that? Blah 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 blah. That's why you have
Exactly.
uprisings. That's why you have people protesting and so forth because you're reacting after the fact. You're not proactive. You're reactive. So in order to be proactive, you got to get in there and play the same game or at least establish the same type of wealth to put those people in check because they're acting like little kids. Come on. They're acting like little kids. Okay, some don't go their way, they get mad, they go bomb somebody, or they go mess up somebody's country, or they go be meddling in affairs that they don't need to be meddling like a little kid. Stop. But no one can tell them stop because nobody has enough wealth and power to tell them to stop. So they continue to go on and such. Now I'm not pointing the finger. I'm not putting blame. I
This
mean,
this this are this is a very this is a very they're very obvious. They're
I'm
obvious.
just saying, we got to
Yeah.
wake up and stop being. I'm not a little child. I'm a grown man. King Fazan is a grown man. The people within U-naf, we're grown people. We want to see unification. How do we want to see it? Economically. Why economically? Because that is the last battlefield, I feel.
That's the
So,
last battlefield. In
battlefield.
fact,
It's a
in fact,
metaphor battlefield, but it is a battlefield. And trust me,
it's
when,
it's a
when you start,
battlefield.
when the momentum starts going, people are going to start to be like, oh my gosh, they woken up. What did we do?
But
We woke up the
but
elephant. We woke up the
yeah.
elephant. We can't take the ivory from the elephant no more. We can't use the elephant no more. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? It's too late. It's too late. What do you mean, what we gonna do? It's too late. Move out the way.
Ah,
So the elephant
but
woke. The elephant
now
moving
now
forward.
what I don't get what I
Oh, by the
don't
way,
get
the
is
elephant is metaphoric.
what I don't
Elephant is metaphoric.
what I don't get is how is it taking us too long to understand this simple thing? It is like now
Because people are
see
comfortable. People comfortable. People comfortable drinking their beer. People comfortable drinking their little whiskey. People comfortable, running around having 20 kids. People comfortable running around doing stupid stuff. People comfortable running around showboating clothing from Europe. People comfortable driving around in a Mercedes and a BMW that was made in Germany, one made in Africa. People comfortable with that. They comfortable with that. They comfortable with that. So they're like, why am I going to be uncomfortable for the sake of my brother or sister? I don't care about them. I mean, let's just be honest. Most Africans don't care. They don't think like you think. Most Africans don't think like we think. Most Africans don't think like the people in U-naf. Most people don't do that. They don't do that. They don't care. They don't care. All they care about is themselves, and that's dangerous. That's what's
dangerous. When you deal with selfish individuals, it is risky. You don't even need to have them on your. In fact, let anybody who is listening say whatever they want to say. But it is not good to have these people even in your association. People who are greedy, people who are selfish, because they are not thinking of the future. And any society that cannot think of the future is doomed.
Right.
Any society.
And you just said that it's selfish that that you may be upset in wherever country you're in because another group is doing better than you. That's selfish. You're being selfish. Plain and simple. You got a problem. You have a mental problem. Because you can do the same thing or even surpass them. You can actually put them out of business. You could put them out of business. If you start doing what you need to do, you can actually put them out of business. Trust me. I be going to business all the time. I be thinking to myself, man, I can put these people out of business. Easy. Why? Because I provide a better product. I provide a better product and I provide better business ethic, and I provide better service. So therefore, I can put you out of business. But we don't think that way. Hey, excuse me. Are you guys hiring? Can I fill out an application? What? Why are you asking them? Get your own damn company and let's you know what I'm saying? Come on, y'all. I mean, I don't even want to go into the. I have another topic on my mind. I don't even want to get into that, but. Our community has plenty of money. Our community has plenty of money. Our community has plenty of money to send everybody to college. Our community has plenty of money to buy land. Our community has plenty of money to do a lot of different things. And we don't do it because we spending money frivolously and we doing it without any intention and any unification behind it. So we don't know what to spend the money on. So we just be showboating around and whatnot, wearing $1,000 suits for what? You look like a dang old fool in that suit, man. Get that off your back. Get that crap off your back. $1,000.
I'm sorry. I have to but
and you send their kids to college. You send their kids to college. You send their kids around the world on these trips and whatnot, and your kid is sitting at home and can't even go down the street. Come on, y'all.
And we are busy in bottle stores and whatsoever, and these guys are busy educating their kids in a way that in 10 years or 20 years to come, we will not have any choice but to depend on these people. The more.
But you're already dependent. That's why they don't care about what's going on in Azania or South Africa, or however you want to pronounce it. They don't care. They don't give a darn. Yeah. And they're actually celebrating. You don't see them. You don't see them. They in your country celebrating right now. They behind the scenes celebrating. Look at these Negroes. Yeah, exactly. Killing each other. They hurting each other. Oh, by the way, we got a prison system designed to put them in. So we good. We got insurance, which is going to cover for the damages. We're good. We have a police force that's going to gun them down. And hopefully we take out a couple of them. Some of the big ones, the ones that started it all. So we're good. We got a military just in case if it gets out of hand. So we're good. So, and then you sitting there at the end of the day, you're still in the same spot you was, but actually worse, because you done showed your
But
behind in front
actually,
of everybody. You showed your behind in front of everybody on national TV that you upset because another group is doing better than you. And you could actually surpass them if you start thinking and unifying. You can't do it alone anymore. Them days are over. Them days are over. Them days are long gone.
but actually, if we look at it, if you were the person, are you not gonna rejoice because the system you created is actually working? Of
Right?
course, just turn
Yeah,
the poor people
turning
against
down.
them. You understand?
What they call y'all? What they call y'all in Azania? What's the negative word they use? Kafir.
Yeah,
No offense to
yeah.
nobody. Hey, don't get mad. And then I say they call me nigger, so
No,
don't get mad. Don't get mad. Don't get mad at me. I didn't come up with the word. I didn't come up with nigger. I didn't come up with kafir. That's what they're using. They're saying, look at these coppers.
but
Look at these. Look what they doing. They deserve to die then. And they can't even see that they can get out of their situation very easily within a matter of days. I know
it's
these are strong words. I understand that. I know y'all are like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Don't worry about who I am. Worry about what you gonna do. What are you
what we
gonna
gonna do? What we gonna
do?
do?
I'm over here trying to do what I got to do. But the point I'm trying to make is that there's no need to be doing certain things when you have an agenda to benefit the whole. There's no need. You're still going to have to do business with the Chinese. You still got to do business with the Indians. You still got to do business with the Arabs. You still got to do business with the Europeans. Because at the end of the day, those are going to be your clients. You still got to do business with them. But at the end of the day, the money circulates within your own community. That's the point I'm trying to make. And your own community succeeds. They succeed. And actually, every community succeeds because the money is going to be, well, it's going to be more so. The money is going to circulate more in your community, in the African community, than it would in any other community, which is how they do it. They do the same thing. Don't get mad at them because they're playing the game and you're behind, don't even know the rules. So don't get mad because they know the rules and they know how to play the game. Don't get mad at them. Get mad at yourself because you're behind, don't know the rules, and you don't know how to play the game. That's all I'm saying. Don't get mad.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Brother Ajamu. I think we'll continue with this conversation. Yeah, we'll continue with this conversation on Sunday. So on Sunday, our topic is gonna be, what do you think is the uniting factor of the African people? And guys, yes.
Bring some guests.
Yeah, so guys, please let us make sure we tell somebody to tell another person on Sunday, 9:30 p.m. South African time and 3:30 p.m. United States time. Yes, and we will just make sure that we get a lot of people on the show. But as for now, we have come to the conclusion of our discussion this afternoon. I know that, guys, you learned a lot. You learned, like this conversation that we always have here, and I always say one thing: there are many people out there who think our conversation is just noise. But I promise you one thing: when the right time has come, this noise that people think we are making will become the only voice of reason to the young people across the continent. And we are not going to stop. Listen, watch my mouth. We are not going to stop until we liberate Africa from Cape to Cairo. Thank you very much, everyone who has taken their time to watch us. I still remain your brother in the struggle, King Fazan Ajo. Always with my brother Ajamu Nietzsche from United States of America. Thank you very much. We have you next Sunday, right? Ajamu, can you repeat the time again for our viewers?
Yeah, it would be 3:30 USA time and 9:30 Central African time.
Thank you very much, Brother Ajamu. We get to see our audience on Sunday.
Thank you for providing this platform, and thank you to the sister that came on in on the show and so forth. Yeah, unification.
Uh, Thank you very much. See you guys on Sunday. Have a nice one. We are out right now. Power to the vision. U-naf. Together we are stronger, healthier, and unstoppable. You forgot that slogan, Mr. Ajam. You actually introduced it to us.
Yeah.
Bye bye, guys.
All right.